Hey folks, how you doing? I'm here. I'm still alive. Just haven't made a video for a year. A couple of reasons. One, I got promoted about last March, I guess it was, and things got a lot busier. And then we bought a new house, which was being built. So we had to sell our house and move into rented accommodation, moved into an apartment. So we were there for like 6 months, which sucked. It's a nice apartment, but it's just I had to put everything in storage. So the only things I took with me was my Flavora collection, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in a second. But we are back. This is kind of a little makeshift video that I'm putting up. I think the recording and everything will be okay. Although I just recorded one which was 20 minutes long, and then realised the card in the microphone was corrupted, so I never had no fucking sound. Right, well, not where you couldn't hear me swear like I am. So, we are going to come back. I don't know how often or where things are going to go. We'll just take it one step at a time. But I've certainly missed doing this, and it's a bit weird talking in front of the camera again. And I start playing around with stuff because you get a little bit edgy. Well, not edgy, just different. So over those 6 months I played with just Flavora. The reason I'd done that was I wanted to get more familiar with them. I was doing the Flavora diaries at the time and thought, what better way than to be exclusively mixing with them? So that's what I'd done, and that was all I mixed with, and everything else was in storage. Although I say that, I did do liquid barn here and there. They sent me so many different samples and that, and I thought it's about time I started vaping them. So I'd done that in between as well. But the main thing was mixing with Flavora and getting more used to just getting better at that, so that I can share a little bit more of that with you. And they are different than other flavors. It's kind of hard to describe, but they are completely different. It's more difficult, I think, to get the right taste because they are so concentrated. You just got to be so careful. But once you do get it, they're fantastic. And the good thing is, well, once they've steeped, and I never really had one that had to be steeped more than like 4 or 5 days, even the creams. But once they are steeped and you've got that flavour you wanted, you can go back to that bottle 3 or 4 weeks later and it's exactly the same. It just hasn't tapered off, like with some of the strawberries from other companies and things like that, where they just, all of a sudden, it's like it's not there anymore. So, yeah, so I mixed exclusively with those, and then once I moved into the house here, I did manage to unpack some of it, which I moved in here like 5 months ago, and I still haven't. This is as far as I've got. But I did get this up, which is cool. I'm probably going to get another one. But there's the main amount of juices. That side opens up as well. So I've got my bread and butter, as you might want to call it, in there. They're my go-to flavors. It's the whole Flavora range, the whole Capella range, and some Flavor West, TFA. All the main brands are right in there. And then I have a lot of others in there, probably like another 400 or 500 concentrates in that closet behind you. So they got to come out. And then all of this stuff that's just cluttering my table, I have another holder there. It's going to go up on the wall, and maybe a couple more here and there, and something maybe right behind me. But I've got to get more organised and be vaping a lot more. I purposely bought this corner desk and not put it in a corner because to do these videos, and I've got all of this nice room in front of me and everything behind me. So kind of set up now to go forward, and going forward is I'm going forward. How are we going to put this? I'm not editing it. Even though I went blah, 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 blah. I refuse to fucking edit, especially after I just made a video. What do you want? People want from me? So I just made 20 minutes of the goddamn thing. So I thought, oh, I'll try let's see what the sound was like on the camera, and it's pretty good. But of course, it's not that richer voice. It's kind of very tinny. But where I want the channel to go is we're going to stay very beginner based. I still get lots of emails and messages saying, when are you coming back? I really missed your videos. You got me mixing, and you know, it's all the beginners that are getting hold of me saying thank you for putting these videos out. So we're going to stay there. I'm not much of an advanced mixer myself. I wouldn't say that, but I don't think there's any need to say advanced. Okay, you want to go into the molecular structure of all this, and you mixers don't give a fuck. You know, I don't anyway. I want to kind of break it down to brass tacks and just let you folks know how easy it can be and should be to mix stuff. I think there's too much stuff out there. It was a year ago, and I'm sure it's just got worse, or probably not, I don't know. But there's just too much of, oh, you can't use 10% of that flavour. Oh, what are you doing using 3% of that? That's just not right. And, oh, you went over 20%? Oh, the golden rule is you can't go over 20% of flavourings. And just throw that fucking shit out the window. If I'm cooking downstairs and I'm cooking, I don't know, a pasta dish, and someone said to me, oh, you want to put that much tomato sauce in it? No, that'll fucking ruin it. I'll say, get the fuck out of my kitchen. You know, it's kind of, you're mixing for yourselves. Do what's right for yourselves. Go out, you know, too many people say, well, what should I use this at? What should I use that at? Yes, we can give you a baseline, but really you want to try these flavors. And I know that's difficult for people just starting out because you don't have the resources that I've got here, and I've been very fortunate to get all of these flavorings, and I have a lot of VG, a lot of PG, a lot of nicotine, so I've got all the raw materials to try bunches of shit, and I've got hundreds of bottles. Actually, I've got 1,800 20ml bottles. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But yes, I can do that, and I can try and trial and error and just throw them out. And I know a lot of people don't have time for that, and then for them to get off of the cigarettes or get off of the store-bought juices, you want something that you can vape. So you need to go out and find a recipe. Go out and find a recipe that you like, get it, mix it, and then start doing some mixing on the side. It's really not that difficult. There's no need to make it sound difficult, and there's no need to make it any more difficult than it is. So we're going to try and break this down. I'm going to try and show you how to approach new flavors and where to go to get the best out of them. So we'll definitely be starting with Flavora, going back to the Flavora diaries, and I know I'll be doing quite a bit on Capella because they just happen to be one of my favorites. I've probably mixed more with them than anything else, but I'm definitely more in tune with the Flavora line. But these are brand new. They sent me these last week, and I promised them I was getting back into making videos. It was coming. Actually, not last week. I think it's the week before. But thank you, Bryson, for sending these over. And there is, what's 5, 10, there's 16 flavors here. And I'll go through them real quick. These are brand new flavors from Flavora. There's sweet and smoky tobacco, starch base, and I haven't smoked a tobacco for ages. So, do you know what? I've not even opened this yet. There we go. There's the seal broken. Don't smell the smoky. Smell the sweet. Oh man, that's really good. I haven't smoked a tobacco for ages, so that's definitely one that we will be hitting real soon. Pink fruit, marshmallow, vanilla. I like the sound of that. Tequila agave, back bar bitters. So I'm guessing I'm not going to crack it open. We'll do that live. Well, I guess it is live. We'll do that when we go to mix with it. Juniper gin, because then it's better that way. I crack it open. I've never used it before, and I can show you how to. If you watch my other Flavora diaries, they're all the same. But I'll try and let you know how they taste. And that's another thing. That's, you know, taste is subjective. You hear that all the time. But it is. What I like, you probably don't like. Not everyone's going to be the same. So all I can do is just tell you what I think of it and whether it's worth getting. Brut bubble wine. Blackcurrant. I actually have that one right here. I made some of this the other night. 2 nights ago. And I really like it. Citrus soda, smoothie base. I've tried that as well. Honeydew, rose essence, cola, jammy berry, and melon rind. I did mix smoothie base, melon rind, and something else, maybe citrus soda or something. I can't remember. I just put them together, and it was a pretty good vape. I really do like the melon rind. It's very hard to get a melon to come forward. You've really got to like throw tons at it, you know, no matter what flavor you use. Not saying Flavora, but even their melons that I've used, God, what was one of their melons called? One of the more, sorry, I know which one I'm thinking of. Is it wild melon or something like that? It's right at the end, I know that. There's the A's, C's, it's right at the end. Watermelon, whipped cream, wild melon. I was right. Even that one, you know, doesn't come through as good as it should or good as it could. But the melon rind, definitely. Well, I'm going off a track here. So we'll be hitting those. Once again, I'm going to be trying to stay with basics. And I don't know how many videos we're going to do and what the time frame is going to be, whether I'm doing 4 a week or doing 1 every 2 weeks, I'm not sure. We won't tackle any live shows just yet because I've got to get myself back into what the latest and greatest stuff is, and new flavors on the market, all this stuff, because I've really been out of it, not really kept up with it. So I don't really want to do a live show, get asked a bunch of questions, and me not feeling as comfortable as I normally do with mixing because I'm not doing as much of it now. I've created maybe, I probably count on one hand, well, 2 hands maybe, of how many recipes I've made in the last year. It's not very many. So ones that I've actually said, oh, here you go, folks, this one, go ahead and hit it. I've made some great ones, just not really recorded them and passed them over. So I want to get back into it. I can't even remember all of the Capella range, you know, whereas before I knew exactly what I had in my mind and I'd go and pick it and that. So I need to get back into that. I need to be hitting this table a lot more and really getting down with these with this mixing a whole bunch, because I used to mix anywhere from 5 to 10 recipes a day at one stage. So, oh, and there's going to be a lot of noise in all the videos. I got a smaller room. It's a fantastic house, bigger house, more rooms, more functional rooms, and now I've got this room here, which is the rat room. I've got 10 rats, 1 chinchilla, 2 gerbils. There was 3 2 days ago. One of them died. But we got a lot of animals: a cat, 2 dogs. So yeah, 10 rats. We had the female gave birth 5.5 weeks ago to 17 babies, and we decided to keep 6 of them. And yeah, 3 of them got adopted last week, and then the rest of them we took back to the breeder that we got some of the rats from, because she said she would take them. We weren't irresponsibly breeding. It was actually one of our favorite rats. We wanted to make sure that we bred him and got his temperament and the other female that we got off the breeder, to get that perfect temperament for the babies. And they've come out perfect, and it couldn't have happened better or worse, should I say. But the male, our favorite one, he died 2 weeks ago. So we've got all of his babies. So that is brilliant, and that is what we wanted. And I said that to the breeder, and she took the other ones back. Completely different thing. Yes, I do have a rat channel as well. I'm not giving you the damn name of it because I want you to stay right here. So maybe later on we will, when it becomes more of a thing with the rats. It's me and my daughter's thing. So it's just started. We got 1 video on there. But yeah, they're a big passion of ours. We love rats, and yeah, they're in here. They're going to be making a lot of noise, drinking, running around. Especially during the evening, like now, they tend to come awake a little bit more, and they can hear me talking as well, and they get excited. Okay, well, we went off on a wild tangent there, and you know I'm not going to edit it out, because I'm not going to edit. I refuse to. One thing that is missing from the channel as well is some gear reviews. Not so much reviews. I don't think I'm going to do hardware reviews. I'm just going to show you some hardware that I've got and say, I really like this one. And there's one of them. I actually treated myself. I hadn't bought a mod for a year, and I treated myself to this a few weeks ago. And it's the Homeboy Squonk. What exactly is it called? God, what was it fucking called? Come on, Chris, I've got the box here. It was actually... oh, it's just the Homeboy Rage Squonk mod. Really like it. I've been looking for a dual 18650 Squonk. I started squonking about this time last year and really enjoyed it. I was using the Kylene or however you want to say it tank a whole lot, probably for the last 2 years whenever I bought it, and I love it. I mean, it's an RDA and a tank, it's perfect. But the squonking's great because it is an RDA, and you've got your tank here, you just squeeze it and go up. There's no more of that mess, there's no more juice all over the place, or even when one of the tanks leaks because you've got the build wrong or something. This is really good, and I've been looking for a dual 18650, and you can see reviews of this thing. It's the Homeboy Rage, and it's yeah, fantastic mod. On top of it, I have the Profile RDA. I'm looking over it to make sure I can remember what they're called, by Wotofo, W-O-T-O-F-O, and this has got a mesh coil in it. When I say coil, it's not really coiled, it's just a dome of mesh. And I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. It wicks a little different than other stuff. Again, look it up online, but it's fantastic. It's like drinking the juice. It is that good. The taste, I've never tasted anything like it. The taste is just off the chart. The amount of clouds, the amount of vapor is not as much as, say, the Goon, which I did buy one of those as well. Is that the fucker? I think it is. I've got a couple. Yeah, that's another Profile. First Profile I ordered had an issue with it, so they sent me another one. So I have two of them. The other one was a pain in the ass getting the lid on. But the Goon with this Squonk mod is fucking just a cloud beast. But with this one, not so many watts. I mean, it's it's 0.12 ohms. I'm vaping it at 50 watts. Normally at that sort of ohms, I'd be up there at 80, 90 watts. But it ramps up so quickly. I mean, it's just immediate. Been talking to you the whole time, and you heard it didn't ramp up then. So that's how quick it is. It's cold. It was cold then, and it's like immediate. And you take a good hit, I mean, you do get good vapor. Now that's not too hot, that's kind of just a nice vape, and if you're hitting it one after the other, like sometimes I do, I can go an hour without vaping now, and then when I do hit it, it's like one after the other. I don't vape as much as I used to. But no, great stuff. I really like the Squonk mods, I like where this is going. I think when I was looking for a mod, I actually went to a couple of local stores, and it's kind of everything's now very generic and very the same. They all kind of look the same, just different shapes and do the same thing. There's nothing really groundbreaking out there that I know of right now. But this here, although it might not be groundbreaking, it's been out there for a while. I really like it, and I've been exclusively on this, where I was exclusively on the GX42. Which is 4 18650s, and oh, do you know what? That's been sat there and it's got fucking juice just leaked out everywhere. I guess I must have had a lot of juice down in that thing. I'm surprised it still fucking worked. It does work. Damn, we'll have to clean that thing off. That's a damn mess there. So yeah, I'd like to, when I do buy kit, which ain't very often, I treat myself to that. It's the first thing I bought for a year, and just wanted to try something different. But I like to talk about those kind of things when we get them. And the first things we'll be doing is going back to the Flavora diary and and covering that, the new flavors, some of the old flavors, some of my findings, and really how to go about mixing and make it more simple. Get a recipe online, find out what, you know, when you're first beginning, have a look at some recipes, some very popular recipes, ask around, find one you like and vape it, and then while you're vaping it, go ahead and play. Go ahead and get these things. I mean, this is how I started off. I got the first ingredients I ever bought was for a good recipe online. It was like Mother's Milk Suicide Bunnies clone or something like that. So I got that, and it was really nice. And while I was doing that, I was making other stuff, and it came out like shit every single time. It was like, oh fuck, you know. And I was buying stuff that I thought sounded really good, you know, like honey and chocolate and, you know, just stuff that I, you know, like to eat. And mixing them, I got butter from TFA, thinking, oh, that would be good with this, and put like 4% butter in. I hated that flavor for such a long time until I realized 0.25% into a mix with TFA butter is where you want to be. So you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna make the mistakes. It's good to watch these videos. That's why I'm here, to kind of see where to start off and where to get your base. But have a look at what I'm doing sometimes and think, oh, well, I don't like that. You know, a lot of people say, oh, can I substitute this in your recipe? No, you can't. To get my recipe, you can't sub it. But to get your recipe, yes, you can. Go ahead and sub it out. If you haven't got the strawberry I'm using, use another strawberry. And test it. Start off with, you know, a little bit. You know, if I say I'm using 6% TFA ripe, and all you've got is God, I can't sweet strawberry Capella. If that's all you got, don't go putting 6% in there thinking, oh, well, you use 6% of this, I'll use 6% of that one. Don't do that. Put 2% in. If that don't work, put 4% in. You know, keep adding to it till you get to that level that you like. I can tell you right now that they're about the same, those two. But all right, I did edit my video because I got up and looked how much was on the camera, and I kind of went off on a weird one just a minute ago. So you're going to get a quick break here and then come over to me ranting on. But we're going to go back to basics with our mixing, and that's where we'll be going from now on. And I'm going to be trying to keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, just try not to make this so fucking hard, because it's not. Once I had somebody show me something where beginning of last year, about the Flavora range, and I was having such a difficult time with it. Every single one, because I treated it the same as the other ones, and they're not. They are super concentrate. So this other person, Elisa, if you're watching, she got hold of me, and I think she was a little worried about maybe hurting my feelings and saying, hey, you're doing it wrong. But she didn't. She went about it saying, hey, try this. You know, I see you're having trouble with it, and you say on your channel you do. Try this. Try 1 or 2 drops of this. And I was like, tried it, and I was like, haha, here we go. Now I can start afresh. And some of it's so concentrated that 30 ml, you want 2 drops in it. Alpine strawberry, 30 ml, 2 drops. You can taste it all day long. A lot of people don't like Alpine strawberry because I'm sure they're putting it in there at 3, 4, 5%, and it's just not going to be the same. You just need a couple of drops. So we're going to go back to that, and we're going to treat the whole flavor range, every single one, whether it's Flavora or Capella, we're going to treat them all the same, and just start off low and build up. And hopefully we do it enough, and we'll all learn something. Anyway, I've got to go because I know the camera's about to get to its 30-minute mark and switch off. So thanks for watching. We'll be back real soon, and I'm really looking forward to this. Brand new start, brand new environment, and a new outlook. So thanks folks, see you real soon.